Potato is tomato.
Hello, today is January 14th, 2022.
Today we're going to be talking about the metaverse.
This is all theoretical. This might not even happen.
First thing we're going to be talking about today is, what is the metaverse?
Well, the metaverse, Meta is what Facebook wants to change their new name to instead of Facebook, and they're planning on making a metaverse. But then, what is the metaverse?
The metaverse is essentially a merge of virtual and physical reality and blurs the line between your interactions online and in real life. But broken down more simply, it's a handful of platforms on which people can interact in different ways. So you could go anywhere and be anywhere.
Now, I know it kind of got leaked out, but is this what Oculus Quest 3 will be? Or what do you think about that?
Well, I've heard it as the name Project Cambria. It's a new headset that Meta is going to be releasing in the next year or so. And from what I've read, this Project Cambria has like facial tracking. So if you were to smile, it could see your expressions in game.
Now, I have the Oculus Quest 2, which I find amazing and probably one of my best purchases I've ever made. And it's weird because it's the newest and highest tech of virtual reality because you don't have to plug it in. But then it's made by Facebook, but it can't sense facial recognition, which I think Meta is kind of creepy, I'll say.
Yeah, the whole concept of this Meta thing that Meta is making is they're basically trying to make it so that you could put on glasses and you would go into that other world. And you could go anywhere, do anything, and all of that type of stuff, but it wouldn't be just this like blocky character. Like it would look like a real person, like a meta avatar. Like your avatar would be a representation of you in your virtual world. So it's a very important part of this metaverse, and it just allows you to like feel and express your identity in the digital realm.
Now, in the commercial we see for the metaverse, it shows a human architect designing a building anywhere he wants to. But then, will we need buildings in the future if everybody's just going to be sucked into this metaverse? Like, let's say you're in the metaverse right now and you're in a beautiful big city, and when you step out of it, everything's horrible in real life and nothing is going the way you want to. That addictiveness will make you go back into the headset, which will cause mental health and problems. So I really think Meta, on my hand, I think Meta could be worse for humanity.
Well, as I think about it though, you still need to eat, sleep, go to the washroom, and all these other things outside of the meta. So I think you do still need places to live. Maybe they don't have to be like high end with all this expensive stuff. Maybe it's just an apartment where you have your bed and just like a kitchen and a washroom, because you still need those essential things outside of the metaverse.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Now, money. I feel like you would have to buy your clothes in game as well. I also hear that you might be able to make clothing and make money from that. You can make money from designing that clothing. Now, would you want to do that?
Well, I think that when everyone gets sucked into this virtual reality, all these big companies like Adidas and like Nike and all that, they're gonna have to move there as well, in order to make their profit and make money. So and it's like almost Roblox for example. This is like a really good representation of it, where you can make your own stuff in there, and you can do anything you want.
Yeah, I personally think that's what the next jobs are gonna be. Instead of like going to work and stuff, you're gonna be designing clothes for the meta.
Yeah, like there's gonna be a lot of coding and like design and all this stuff, and there's gonna be a lot of different jobs. But like, let's be real. When is this thing even gonna come out? And as I have up here, by his own admission, um, Mark Zuckerberg notes that the metaverse could take several years to build. However, you can expect a software launch within the next 5 years, as by tw- by 2031, Mark Zuckerberg hopes to sign 1 billion users to the metaverse platform.
Now, like I said, I have the Oculus Quest 2, and even that's really realistic. I know, a very close relative of mine, stepped into the Oculus, and they were just amazed by the loading screen, because it looks so beautiful. Now, what what's gonna happen when it becomes more realistic to the point where you can't tell if it's real or fake?
Well, this is kind of like a representation. If I don't know if everyone's watched this movie before, but Ready Player One and the book Ready Player Two, where now I could be wrong on this, but I think the concept might be you put on like a pair of glasses, and then you like sit down, and then your like consciousness is in there. I don't know exactly how it would work, but I feel like it might be something like that. And so it could like, and by the avatars that the way they're talking about the avatars, they're thinking like I could be an avatar. Like you it would look so realistic, you wouldn't be able to tell what's real and what's fake, which can cause massive problems. Like, let's say you're talking to your friend in the metaverse, but what happens if a hacker has hacked into your friend's account? You could be talking to a completely unknown person.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm having some negative thoughts on the metaverse for exactly that reason. Think about the amount of like problems that could go wrong with the metaverse, and it's kind of scary to think about.
Yeah, like as you've probably known, Facebook has had a couple problems with data breaches along the way, and like the way they're talking about this technology, they're talking about it like it would be scanning your brain, and you wouldn't even share that type of things with like your close friends or even your family, and that could be and like if someone were to access that stuff, they would have literally everything on you.
Yeah, that's why I think they should just they should still make like Oculuses, but just don't go to the point where it's almost a reality.
Yeah, like obviously as time goes on, we're gonna get more and more advanced. But I think there should be like and there's also like moderation. Like in on Facebook, they have like warehouses full of people moderating like their app like 24/7 and scanning for this stuff. If we were in the metaverse, they would have to be watching us 24/7. They'd be looking at what we're wearing, they'd be looking at our brain activity, they'd be looking at what we're saying. And like do you really want Facebook to have all of that control on you?
And then also, the horrible things you could technically do on the Oculus because like you said, face the Meta will have everything on you, and the terrible different hacks you could do to find this information and then track those people down is just why are they taking so many risks to make this
Yeah, like
product?
yeah, like it's not just a Facebook profile with like a couple of your photos on it and like a profile picture. It's literally all of your memory, your thoughts and all this stuff. And people have to think, is this safe for me to do? And maybe not jump right into it.
Yeah, I think they Facebook should wait a couple more years until 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 they should really do this stuff because like you
Well,
said, they don't hold like a couple pictures of you. They hold like almost your entire life in their hands.
yeah, but like, let's be honest, this isn't gonna come out for like multiple like years. Like, we're talking like tens of years. So we don't really have to worry about it just yet. And also, we don't even have the technology for this yet. So, like, it might not even happen. This is just what they're trying to go for. And like they're putting out new headsets that can scan your face to get facial expressions. They're putting in more and more things like a bodysuit, like one of those things where you could stand on it and like a movable treadmill that you could run on in place. Like it's getting more like they're like virtual and physical reality are coming closer and closer together. And if those two were to like completely merge as what the meta is trying to say, then like it could be scary for some things because people wouldn't know it was real because you could change your avatar. You could be 6 feet tall. You could be 2 feet tall. You could be a different gender. You could be not even like a human. Like there's so much like cyberbullying and there's so much room for this stuff to happen and like a lot of bad things to happen. But at the same time, as we go on, there's like it's not really that big of a choice right now as more and more technology comes out.
Now, Beckett, you have one more thing to say, I think?
Yeah. So the thing I wanted to talk about was if you, let's say, a bunch of your friends were to get like a headset, kind of like in our other podcast, our video games bad, like if everyone were to get a headset around you and you weren't, that would affect you massively because you wouldn't be able to go in there. Like all it's like not having a phone. Like if you don't have your phone, you're left out. Like everyone is doing these things online and you can't join in. And it's like so they're maybe sure they might put the like headsets at like a very low amount, but there's so much more to think about that. What if you're not allowed to get it? What if you think that it's not safe, but your other friends are willing to risk it? You're getting influenced by your friends, then you're going on, and then you're not safe. And there's going to be so much of that going around, and like I don't know what to think about that. Because let's say I don't get a headset, and let's say you get one of the new headsets, and I'm just walking around in real world, you'd be on the headset 24/7, and I there would be nothing for me to do except join in on you, spend a bunch of money, and get sucked into this virtual reality, and has the chance of my entire life being breached, ruined, like exposed, and like everything like that.
Now, remember, this won't be here for a long time, so don't worry, because it might not even happen. Now, that's all we have today, and there's so much more to talk about on this topic. So we'll absolutely have to make another episode on this. And to you, Beckett.
I agree, and I can't wait till we get to put out that new episode when all of this stuff comes even more. And I all I have to say is goodbye.
And one more thing, thank you so much for over over 400 listens to our podcast. I just want to say a huge thank you to you guys, and really just thank you.
Potato is tomato.